President Buhari receives diplomats on tour, requests them to uphold the noble standards of diplomacy and respect traditional institutions. The Presidential Transition Council unveils activities for the 2023 Presidential Inauguration Ceremony.
On Sunday, the 28th May 2023, interdenominational Christian service will hold at the National Christian Center at 10 a.m. in the morning. There will be an inauguration dinner / gala night. And on Monday, the 29th of May 2023, which is the D-Day, inauguration parade and swearing in of the newly elected President and President-elect.
Plus, application for live broadcast of proceedings. Court reserves ruling on Atiku Abubakar's request. Hello and welcome to NTA Network News live from Abuja. I am Jummai Yusuf. Hingina John Adams will be joining us from Lagos in the course of the bulletin. Thanks for joining us. You can follow this news live on our website nta.ng/live, NTA News Now, and other social media platforms displayed on the screen for updates. 65 former members of the National Youth Service Corps scheme who distinguished themselves during the mandatory one-year national service have been granted automatic employment in the Federal Civil Service. President Muhammadu Buhari announced the offer to the ex-corps members at the President's NYSC Honours Award ceremony for the 2018-2019 set, which coincided with the 50th anniversary of the scheme. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo tells us more.
Out of the 65 ex-corps members to be given automatic employment, 52 received Presidential Honours Award, while the remaining 13 were physically challenged ex-corps members recognized under the NYSC Hope Alive program. In addition to the employment, President Buhari also disclosed that both groups would be awarded scholarships to pursue their education up to the doctorate degree level at any university of their choice within the country. A cash prize of 250,000 naira will also be given to each of the top award winners and 200,000 naira for other award recipients, including the physically challenged. President Buhari praised all Nigerians who have answered the call for national service in the past 50 years for their patriotic zeal and commitment to the scheme, which he said justified its establishment as an interventionist agency with a core mandate to foster national unity by breaking down ethnic suspicions and divisions.
Today's event is another landmark in the annals of the Service Corps, which for 5 decades has not only been synonymous with national development, but has also become a pivot of national unity and integration. I hasten to state without equivocation that with the quality of youth such as these, the future of this country, which rests upon their shoulders, is guaranteed. I give kudos to my dear, diligent, patriotic, and virile youth. You have done very well, and the nation is very proud of you.
Regarding ongoing discussions on the need to reinvent the NYSC through the establishment of a trust fund, President Buhari said government will support any genuine effort aimed at assisting the scheme in achieving its time-tested objectives.
I wish to assure that government shall continue to support every worthy venture by the youth, especially through our empowerment initiative, such as the 75 billion naira Nigeria Youth Investments Fund. We shall always work for the promotion of youth-related activities for a better Nigeria.
Both the Minister of Youth and Sports, Sunday Dare, and the Director General of the NYSC, Brigadier General Y.D. Ahmad, appreciated President Buhari for his administration's unique attention to the NYSC scheme and indeed the youth of the country.
I join the rest of the nation not only in rejoicing with you on your selection for this presidential honor, but also in applauding your sacrifice and worthy contributions exemplified in those positive virtues you stood for during the service year. Indeed, your high sense of discipline, selflessness, diligence at work, excellent community service, heighten and brighten our hope in the future of our great country, Nigeria.
Core members of the 2019 batches A, B, and C, from which they emerged collectively, made immense contributions to the socio-economic development of our dear country.
During the event, President Buhari paid tribute to core members from the batches being honored who lost their lives under various circumstances, saying the nation shall continue to remember their sacrifices towards building a strong, indivisible, and egalitarian entity. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari is advising diplomats on tour of duty in Nigeria to always uphold the noble standards of diplomacy like their predecessors by respecting traditional institutions in the country. This was while exchanging views with the British High Commissioner to Nigeria and his counterpart from the Democratic Republic of Sri Lanka. State House correspondent Adam Sambo again has the details.
Congratulations. Thank you very much, sir.
The two envoys, British High Commissioner to Nigeria, Richard Montgomery, and that of Sri Lanka, Vilupillai Kannanathan, were in the State House to present their letters of credence to President Muhammadu Buhari. The President told the diplomats in separate meetings that the relations with both countries will be further consolidated with their consideration for the local culture, traditional rulers and institutions. He said in spite of the changing times, education and rising materialism, there is a lot to learn from the people's culture and traditional institutions, hence the need to accord them the desired respect. The President told the High Commissioner of the United Kingdom that the diplomatic relations spanning many years had been sustained on mutual respect for cultures, stating that all courtesies will be extended to him to make his stay in Nigeria memorable. He said a good understanding of cultural differences and respect for institutions paved the way for most of the successes of the United Kingdom, noting that previous diplomats had established relations with the Sultan of Sokoto, Emir of Kano, Shehu of Borno, and Emir of Ilorin, the ancient gateway to the north. And to the Sri Lankan diplomat, President Buhari said participation of women in politics and governance in Nigeria had steadily increased over the years, while referring to the first female Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, Srimarvo Bandaranaike. He explained that recently Nigeria got close to having the first female governor. The British High Commissioner Montgomery said the United Kingdom had always held Nigeria and its cultural institutions in high esteem, while relating the best wishes of King Charles III as Nigeria prepares for the handover ceremony on May 29th. The High Commissioner of Sri Lanka told the President that the country continues to share its skills and experience with the Nigerian military in tackling insurgency. Kannanathan promised that he will consolidate the efforts of his predecessor by strengthening relations on energy projects which had already started in East Africa. The two envoys were earlier on arrival treated to a befitting diplomatic welcome by officers and soldiers of the Presidential Guards Brigade. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
In the meantime, President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the dissolution and renewal of the governing board for the Federal Road Maintenance Agency, FEMA. The new chairman of the board is Mr. James Olubenga Akintola, who succeeds Mr. Tunde Lemo after the latter voluntarily stepped down. Other members of the old board have their terms renewed. Mr. Lema conveys his appreciation to President Muhammadu Buhari for the opportunity given to him to serve the country. Mr. Akintola, the new chairman, had occupied similar positions in many states of the Federation. Now let's bring you up to speed with other news as the Presidential Election Petition Court has reserved ruling on the application filed by Atiku Abubakar for an order of the court for live broadcast of the proceedings of his petition during the pendency of the matter. Judicial correspondent Austin Anyabe reports on these and other pre-trial hearing proceedings on Thursday.
Atiku Abubakar, Chris Uche, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, adumbrating after adopting his argument contained in his written address, stressed the importance of granting the application for the live broadcast, saying there is no statutory legislation preventing such approval. He contended that allowing such live broadcasts and modalities for coverage will afford many Nigerians to be abreast of proceedings in the court. But counsel to the Independent National Electoral Commission or Progressive Congress, President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu, all opposed the application, describing it as not only annoying but wasting the time of court. They contended that the court was not a stadium, a theatre hall that cameras will be allowed in anyhow, more so that the court cannot control such coverage. INEC Council suggested that live streaming is a practice in other climes, not live broadcast, adding that allowing cameras into the court will rob the court of its solemn atmosphere. Wale Olanipeku, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, said the number of journalists covering the proceeding was enough to inform Nigerians about the proceeding and urged the court to dismiss the application. On the part of Lateef Fagbemi, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, allowing the application will jeopardize the lives of witnesses that will come to testify, adding that granting the application will open the gates for tribunal sitting at the states to follow suit, which may not augur well for the courts. Having heard the arguments from parties, leader of the 5 panel of justices, Justice Aruna Simon Samani, reserved ruling and adjourned to 19th May 2023 for further pre-trial hearing on the petition, when more applications from the respondent shall also be heard. The other petition heard Thursday at the pre-trial hearing was that of Allied People's Movement, where parties agreed on the admissibility of certified true copies of documents to be tendered. All the respondents' counsel moved the application with the central prayers asking the court to strike or dismiss the APM petition. Others prayed the court to strike out some paragraphs of the petition for incompetence. After adopting their written addresses, the court reserved ruling on all the applications in the petition of Allied People's Movement. With a pre-trial hearing expected to end within 14 days, the ground rules will have been set for the hearing of the main petitions. From the Court of Appeal, Abuja, Austin Anyabe, NTA News.
Thank you, Austin. Now, towards having a smooth and orderly transfer of power from the present administration to the incoming, the Presidential Transition Council has unveiled a series of activities for the 2023 presidential inauguration ceremony. Adebola Brooks and Sunday reports.
People say everything that has a beginning must have an end. With few days to the end of the present administration, the Presidential Transition Council has unveiled its program of events to Nigerians.
On Tuesday, the 23rd of May, 2023, there will be a regimental dinner in honor of the Commander-in-Chief at the Armed Forces Officers' Mess. This is on Wednesday, the 24th of May, 2023. There will be a valedictory Federal Executive Council session. On 25th, which is a Thursday, investiture of the President-elect and the Vice President-elect with national honor. Friday, the 26th of May, 2023, there will be a public lecture at 10 o'clock at the National Mosque, which will be followed subsequently with the Jumat prayers at 1:30. On Saturday, the 27th of May 2023, there will be an inaugural lecture. On Saturday, the 27th of May 2023, children's program would also be holding side by side with the inauguration lecture. On Sunday, the 28th May 2023, interdenominational Christian service will hold at the National Christian Center at 10 a.m. in the morning. There will be an inauguration dinner stroke gala night. And on Monday the 29th of May 2023, which is the D-Day, inauguration parade and swearing in of the newly elected President and President-elect of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
The commitment is to broadcast live the 2023 presidential inauguration in a way that will be uniquely different.
My only advice is that if you have no business in security, you need not be near the vicinity of the program, especially on the inauguration day.
Do not expect people to come with their vehicles to the Eagle Square, but to those locations.
The 5,000 seating capacity Eagle Square will be the venue for the inauguration parade and swearing in of the new president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Adebola Brookslyn Sunday, NTA News.
And joining us live to speak further on the May 29th presidential inauguration is the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Gida Mustafa. You're welcome to NTA Network News.
Thank you so much. Good evening, Juma.
Okay, this is an auspicious time for the country and 24 years of uninterrupted democracy, and now we're going to witness, a transition from one elected government to the other. I have a two-bullet question for you. What does a change of government imply for governance and the governed, and what measures are being put in place to ensure that the presidential inauguration ceremony is safe and secure for all attendees, given the ongoing security challenges in the country?
Well, I want to assure Nigerians that every measure is being put in place to ensure a seamless transition of the government of President Muhammadu Buhari to the newly elected president. And we are mindful of the times in which we live. We are concerned about certain agitations and misinformation as to what is likely to happen. But let me assure you, another press briefing today, the chairman of the Facilities, Security and Intelligence Committee did allude to the fact that every measure is being put in place to ensure that there will be nothing that would cause any disruption during the course of this inauguration. The date of May 29th is sacrosanct, as provided by our Constitution, and the government of President Muhammadu Buhari will do everything within its powers by virtue of the power of persuasion and also enforcement to ensure that the inauguration ceremony takes place in an atmosphere of tranquility.
Yes, this is a very, a huge responsibility for all concerned. Now, what are you, you're working with other government agencies and stakeholders to ensure that the logistical arrangement for the presidential inauguration are smooth, efficient, and timely. How is it going?
Very well. We have 3 committees that are working aside the Presidential Transition Council. The committees are the Inauguration Committee, which I chair, and it has about 13 subcommittees that deal with all facets of the inauguration, starting from medicals to venue, security, transportation, hoteling, and all other things that ought to be put in place.
And can you give us a little brief of the lineup for the presidential inauguration and other ceremonies like the swearing-in ceremony and other events planned for that day? Because I know it's a Herculean task to be able to achieve all this all in one day.
Well, we've drilled this team before. This is not the first transition. As a matter of fact, I actively participated in 2015, and I was the chair of the inauguration of President Muhammadu Buhari's second term in 2019. This is not a terrain that I'm not familiar with. And like I said, everything needful is being put in place to ensure that our inauguration goes on very smoothly and without any forms of disruptions. The security agencies, starting from the DSS to the Armed Forces to NIA to the Office of the National Security Advisor, with also the lead agency, which is the Nigerian Police, with all other arms of the military and security network, are doing everything to ensure that this inauguration comes out very, very well. And we will have on the 29th of May 2023 sworn in the 16th President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
The eye of the world is on Nigeria, and I'm sure that our rich cultural heritage will be reflected in the inauguration and swearing-in ceremony. What are we expecting to see here?
Well, I can tell you that the 2023 election generated a lot of interest for obvious reasons. Nigeria is the biggest black nation in the world in terms of size and population. We are endowed with natural resources. We also lead in different areas. We have the biggest economy on the continent of Africa, a very mobile and thriving youthful population. So the interest of the world has been focused in Nigeria in the last couple of months. And because of the heightened anxiety leading to the election, there were a lot of predictions that we Nigerians have been able to prove the world wrong. That we had this election that is adjudged to be free and fair, and a declaration has been made by INEC. And I believe that the world is expecting a seamless and a very, very efficiently conducted inauguration process.
What
with a lot of
to
expectations from us as the largest country and the biggest on the continent of Africa, because we hold the ace to what would happen on the African continent. Recent happenings, particularly within our ECOWAS geopolitical region, have been quite disturbing. So the world was looking up to Nigeria whether we were able to hold the mantle of democracy and deepen our democracy. So that explains why there is a lot of expectations, and I believe that we are going to be able to deliver on those expectations.
Indeed, it's a pride to be in Nigeria at this auspicious time. What is your final words to Nigerians?
Well, truly, at this very moment, I want us to stand as proud people that we've been able to deliver, being the 7th consecutive democratic transition, 24 years of unbroken democracy. We were not given a chance, but I believe because of the resilient spirit of Nigerians, we always look ahead with expectations. And I believe that the next leadership that will come, the leadership of distinguished Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, would take us to the next level. The 8 years of President Muhammadu Buhari have been quite rewarding in different facets of our life, in the economy, in infrastructure. He's done the best that we've been able to deliver given the constraints of COVID-19 pandemic and also the economic global meltdown. I believe with the determination and the skills that Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu has acquired over the years, having exhibited those skills in Lagos, bringing them to the national platform, he will be able to replicate it across the width and breadth of Nigeria. So I want us to look ahead with a lot of expectations, believing strongly that the best days of Nigeria are still ahead of us.
From the next level to renewed hope, I've been speaking with the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Gida Mustafa, giving us an insight into preparations for the inauguration of the incoming government. Thank you so much for coming on NTA Network News.
Thank you, Jume.
We'll take a break. Network News continues shortly. Do stay. You're welcome back. Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, has commended the media for their role in nation building over the years. The SGF made the commendation at the quarterly meeting of Nigeria Interreligious Council with the theme, Media and Effective Leadership for Nation Building. Hamman Jabani reports.
Nigeria Interreligious Council chose the theme of the second quarter meeting 2023 in recognition of the vital role media play in nation building and the need to foster a better working relationship between the media and those in leadership positions in the interests of the country. The media, which is believed to promote democracy and good governance, serves as a watchdog in ensuring that leaders are held accountable while creating avenue for constructive criticism, feedback, and the promotion of peace and unity.
I want to thank the media for the unflinching support over the years in ensuring the growth and development of our hard-earned democracy, and to encourage that more should still be done.
NIREC leadership hopes that interaction with media practitioners will deepen the collaboration of the media and those in leadership position to produce a synergy that will drive effective nation building.
We are ready to listen to you. We are ready to write to the government what your fears are, what your aspirations are, what you believe this government must do about the incoming government. And inshallah, we will succeed.
The media can help to enrich the conversation of leaders by providing, amongst others, well-investigated and well-researched stories that will improve the religious literacy of leaders.
The media is therefore that arm of society that influences our hearts and our minds, either negatively or positively.
NIREC appreciates the SGF Boss Mustafa for his contribution over the years. Hamman Jabani, NTA News.
Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, says deregulation and liberalization has enhanced the roles of the media in informing citizens, promoting free speech and holding government accountable to the people. Addressing the 14th ordinary session of the African Union of Broadcasting, Lai Mohammed notes that the Nigerian government has embraced digital transformation by strengthening public service broadcasters with relevant reforms and policies. Onegi Fiveface reports.
Deregulation and liberalization of the media in Nigeria has produced a vibrant, robust and viable broadcast culture in the country. This comes with some levels of concerns, especially for public service broadcasters who do not have adequate funding but must compete with their counterparts funded with private capital.
The challenges facing public service broadcasters in Africa are significant and complex. However, it is important to remember that our organizations continue to play a critical role in informing and entertaining the public.
Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, says progress is being made to address the concerns in Nigeria, but more action is needed.
The foundation of a data-driven TV and radio should now be cemented across the continent for other building blocks to mount.
We must follow the new technologies of information and communications.
Discussing critical media challenges facing the African media, experts observe that the solution lies in investments to increase reach.
We must have to face the realities on ground and also scale up our level of standard of production so that at least it will woo sponsors. It will attract sponsors so that they can as well inject funds and into the public medium so that we can also remain relevant.
Content requires creativity, content requires resources, and content must have relevance to the audience for you to be in business.
I don't know why really we don't have a good sustainable financing model for public service broadcasters that you can point out anywhere on this continent.
They insist that adopting the digital transformation is a must for the survival of public service broadcasting in Africa. In Abuja, NTA, Fine Face, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed has inaugurated the federal government's Advertising Offences Tribunal to boost the role and mandate of the Regulatory Council under the Advertising Regulatory Council Act number 22 of 2002. Anthony Forson reports.
In line with the federal government's determination to boost the role and mandate of the Advertising Regulatory Council of Nigeria, ARCON, for effective regulation of advertising, advertisement and marketing communication in Nigeria, the minister said the tribunal, being the first of its kind anywhere in the world, has come on stream to guard the enormous potentials of the industry.
Consequently, His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari assented to the bill in July 2022 and gave life to the Advertising Regulatory Council of Nigeria Act number 23 of 2022. The Act took into cognizance the inadequacies of its predecessor, as well as the need to protect consumers from illegal, untruthful, dishonest, indecent, and distasteful advertising.
To this end, the Advertising Offences Tribunal will operate with the following mandate.
The tribunal is empowered to entertain all matters of violations of the provisions of the Act.
Expressing confidence in members of the tribunal, Lai Mohammed noted that their background testifies to their character.
The Lordship and the members of the tribunal will entertain every matter before you for adjudication justly, fairly, and without bias.
I look forward to their support, guidance, and a healthy working relationship that will guarantee that the advertising industry operates with the transparency, fairness that the industry deserves.
In Abuja, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
Now, coalition of all APC support groups have appealed to the President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu to design a template that will capture the interests of all the foot soldiers who made different sacrifices for his victory in the February 25th presidential election. The coalition says the president-elect should run an all-inclusive government with a clear vision of achieving unbreakable records through useful engagement for positive transformation.
We will not give up our support for Asiwaju. We will continue to support him, and after the inauguration we will be there to work with him in government until we see a Nigerian of our dream, a prosperous Nigeria. We will never back up, and we will continue to work and make Nigeria great.
The groups with geopolitical spread are building strongholds to ensure the president-elect succeed in the first 4 years mandate, with performance record to show for another deserving tenure. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, says it is investigating the 70 billion naira corruption allegations against Governor of Zamfara State, Bello Mohammed Matawali. Director of Public Affairs of the Commission, Osita Nwaja, disclosed this while responding to allegations of corruption in asset disposal and plea bargain procedure made by the governor against the Commission. Nwaja says the issue has nothing to do with the transparency of EFCC's assets and discovery and disposal process as claimed by Governor Matawali, but a case of corruption fighting back. The director added that the money in question was sourced as loan from the bank for the purpose of executing projects in the state, but was allegedly diverted by Governor Matawali through proxies, who received payments for contracts that were not executed. The Commission's investigations revealed that more than 100 companies have received payments from the money with no evidence of rendering any form of service. Now, involving the incoming administration in the 2023 population and housing census is necessary to generate credible, transparent, and acceptable census data for planning and development purposes. MPC Chairman Nasir Isakwara was speaking during an engagement with media executives in Abuja on the census project and the issue of its postponement. Olushi Adebo has details.
For the Commission, we are practically prepared to conduct the census, but in his wisdom, Mr. President thought and decided that we should give opportunity for the incoming administration to also participate and to take ownership.
Chairman of the National Population Commission there explaining the reasons President Muhammadu Buhari had to approve the postponement of the 2023 census earlier scheduled for this month. Kwara says while the Commission awaits a new date for the national head counts, there is the need to continue spreading census messages towards getting the buy-in of all Nigerians and active participation.
This census is one of the most important national assignments for all of us.
Two key messages we will continue to disseminate: the need for the census, the imperatives.
Rising from the meeting, participants are in agreement that MPC is technically ready to implement the census project, while the Nigerian media helps strengthen advocacy and fending off fake news. In Abuja, Olusheye Adiagbo, NTA News.
Time now to join Hingino in Lagos for more on NTA Network News. Hello, Hingino.
Hello, Jumai. The Nigerian Television Authority has again added more awards to its kitty as it emerged the most impacting media organization at the maiden edition of the Nigerian Broadcasting Award ceremony organized by the Broadcasting Organizations of Nigeria. Ruth Ario Samuel tells us more on other awards won by the largest television network in Africa.
It was a night of recognition and accolades for those with outstanding performances in the broadcast industry, as many nominees went home fulfilled.
It is our honor to celebrate your contribution to the growth of the broadcast industry.
The Nigerian Television Authority emerged the most impacting media organization. Other awards that went to the NTA family includes Life Achievement won by the first Director General, Newscaster of the Year for Television clinched by Ruth Agwele.
Lifetime Award is for those who survived all the vicissitudes. What I say to them is that it's a thoroughly satisfying engagement. Broadcasting is very fulfilling.
I have to put in so much work, effort, and dedication. I have to keep the standard even higher this time around because you are now like a kind of mentor to a lot of people who look up to you.
Zonal Director, NTA Lagos Network Center, commended the award recipients for making the Nigerian Television Authority proud.
There's nobody in that room who hasn't had one contact or the other with the NTA, whether you are as a professional, as a practitioner, or as just an industry person. So NTA is, where it is, it is the fulcrum of broadcasting in Nigeria.
The Nigerian Broadcasting Awards is designed to appreciate excellent performance among broadcasters, as well as encourage media practitioners to uphold ethics of the profession. In Lagos, Ruth Ario Samuel, NTA News.
Congratulations to the NTA family. Time now for some messages. The news will be back shortly.
You're still watching NTA Network News. The Bank of Industry has announced a 15.6% increase of its profits before tax, amounting to 71.99 billion naira in its 2022 financial performance. This was disclosed by the Chairman Board of Directors Aliu Dikko at the bank's 63rd Annual General Meeting in Abuja. Bosede Abel reports.
Despite the global economic challenges, the Bank of Industry (BOI) says it has been able to sail through the storm. The bank declared it recorded a 15.6% increase in the profits before tax from 62.28 billion naira to 71.99 billion naira in 2022 financial period. Its total assets grew by 39.2% between 2021 and 2022 from 1.71 trillion naira to 2.38 trillion naira, with 3 successful capital raising transactions worth 1.85 billion euro in the year under review. Total equity appreciated by 11.7% from 384.85 billion naira to 429.83 billion naira. Loans and advances were not left out of the advancement, as they recorded 3.2% increase from 780.48 billion naira in 2021 to 805.46 billion naira in 2022. With the achievement recorded so far, the bank says downside risks and potential headwinds still abound. With the feat, the bank says all hands are on deck to ensure progress.
If you look at the last 8 years, when we came in as a board, the total asset of the bank was about 630 billion. Right now, it has grown to about 2.3 trillion.
The managing director, Olukayode Pitan, says this is the right opportunity for small and medium-sized companies to take advantage of the bank's loans at reduced interest rates.
We are able to give loans for up to 7-8 years at a fixed rate.
The Bank of Industry says it will continue to implement strategies that will enhance flexibility towards economic growth. In Abuja, Bosede Ebo, NTA News.
Now, Nigerian nationals abroad can now breathe a sigh of relief concerning the several challenges they face in foreign countries through the transformational digital tools project by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. They can now access online platforms for queries and assistance, as well as business collaborations with foreign counterparts. Abdusalam Jibrin tells us more.
Sudan was very calm and cool. It was after this war, Sudan became something else.
Recent conflicts in Ukraine and Sudan have beamed the spotlight on the challenges Nigerians residing in such countries face. Towards finding solutions to ease their plight and expose foreign businesses to local MSMEs, the Nigerian Global Citizen Help Desk, the Nigerian Global Business Match, and the Unified Online Presence Portal have been launched.
The Nigerian anywhere in the world can call a number in whichever country they are, and will get switchboard people on the line that will address their issues. It is a real-time online one-stop shop where foreign businesses seeking to do business in Nigeria can transparently conduct end-to-end transactions with Nigerian registered and verified businesses. I want to encourage Nigerians, particularly those in the diaspora, to take advantage of this center to reach out and seek help in case of emergencies.
These digital initiatives will provide local businesses partner with foreign counterparts to explore more business opportunities. Abdul Salam Jubril, NTA News.
The President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu is felicitating with former Chief of Army Staff General Aliu Muhammad Gusau on his 80th birthday. General Gusau served as National Secretary, Advisor, and Minister of Defense in the administration of Chief Olusegun Obasanjo and Dr. Goodluck Jonathan. The President-elect praises the retired general for his many years of service to Nigeria as a soldier, statesman, and for making a remarkable name for himself in global security circles. He also felicitates with colleagues, families to wish an officer and a gentleman a happy birthday and many years in good health. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari felicitates with Alhaji Sani Muhammad Gubir, Yeriman Gubir, as he gives out his first daughter in marriage May 19, 2023. As Amina Sani Muhammad ties the nuptial knot with Farouk Bala Danjima, the president wishes the young couple a happy married life, counseling them to ensure that they remain friends, saying friendship is the bedrock of matrimony. The wedding holds at National Assembly Quarters, Central Mosque, Apo Legislative Quarters, Abuja. NTA Network News will be right back. Welcome back. From the testimonials about his lifetime on earth, one could understand why tears freely flowed down the faces of many at the funeral service of late Joseph Imo Onyenu, who was called home by his maker at age 65. Chuma Nwekere witnessed it all at the Oku Emeke Ori North local government area of Imo State.
Friends and well-wishers from far and near gathered at Onyenu's compound, Umulobo Okwemeke in Owerri North local government area of Imo State to bid farewell to late Elder Joseph Imo Onyenu.
While alive, he was one of us.
The remains of late Joseph Imo Onyenu was interred in his room amidst tears.
One of the things I cherish about him is that quality of simplicity. He carries everybody along.
He even told me, in case I leave, this is the little money I have, this is where it is. See the relationship. Tell Obi that is what I have.
He's a humble and generous man that everybody wants to be with.
He was aged 64. Inowere Chuma Nwekere, NTA News.
And that's NTA Network News. Thank you so much for your time. I am Jummai Yusuf.